all, welcome back to the screencast. In this video, we are going to understand the usage of sets. Now, sets are one interesting data structure which is present in Python because set do not allow you to have duplicate values inside it. So, let's say you have 100 students' marks of some exam and you want to find out the distinct marks of I mean, if there are three students which have 4 marks out of 10 and five students which have 10 marks. So let's say you want to find out all the distinct scores that all the students have achieved. I mean, that. So in other languages, you would have to use a for loop and loop over it and do stuff like that. But in Python, create a list of all marks and just call a set out of it. Or what it will do is it will return you the unique elements of that list, which in our example means the unique marks scored by the students. So let's get started by creating an empty set object. I'm sorry that there was an indent which threw an error. So you can create a set by using a equal to set constructor. So there are two ways in which you can call this constructor. Let's check the help. Yes. So you can see set is new empty set object or set of iterable is new set object. Now an iterable object is something that allows iteration. It is a pretty complicated topic, so we won't be looking into it in depth as of now. But just to understand what an iterable means is list is an iterable object because you can iterate from one element to another element. Say integer is not an iterable object because it has only one value. Set is an iterable object because you can iterate from one to other. Dictionaries are not iterable. We'll look at dictionaries in the next video. So you can see we have an add method which is going to add an element to a set. This has no effect if the element is already present. So that is because sets only have unique values inside it. You can remove all elements of a set by using calling the clear method. You can return a shallow copy of a set. There is a difference, there is a discard. Remove an element from a set if it is a member. If it is not a member, then do nothing. So these functions and methods, or rather methods, are created for some specific purpose. So what I encourage you to do is just think of what your application is going to do and how you'll use sets in it, and then look up the documentation and find out which methods are important to you. Okay, cool. So let's start by adding an element to a set here. Now you can see we added two elements. Now let's add the element again. There is no difference because sets store only unique values. Now let's say I want to remove. Now when you remove an element from a set, you don't remove by using an index. You remove by using a value. Now let me check again. Okay, so sets basically are used for set operations in algebra. So let me create a set out of a list, or let me first create a list. Now I have a list which lists basically allow you to have duplicate values, sets don't. So when I create a set out of a list, it is going to store all the distinct values in no particular format. So there is no such thing as set stores elements alphabetically and all. Okay. So now I'll create another set O. Now what I can do is A union O will give me a set of all distinct elements which are present in list L and in O. This is just basic algebra. A difference of B will give me the difference between set A and set O. Where set excels particularly is, as I said at the starting of this video, say you have 100 marks. So let me create a new. Oh boy. So what I did here, I created a marks list. Okay. Then I for I in I'll just append. Okay, so I have now marks of 160 students, and let's say I want to find out all the distinct scores. Now here I already know that the scores are 1 to 10, but say these were random actual scores from a test. So it would be insightful to understand how the students scored inside the test. So let's say if all the students got 100 scored 10, then the exam was very simple. If all the students scored say 5, then I guess the exam was difficult. Then again what we'll have to do is we'll have to check the attendance or something like that. So having data is very important in computer science. So now what I'll do, d equal to set of marks, and I have it here in one line. I was able to find out all the unique elements of a set of a list. Now this is one basic example. What other thing you can, one gotcha that there is two sets and list is, since they are basically they work on pointers, right? So when I do a of this, or I mean here set of a, now a is 1 2 3. If I do b equal to a, then it is not going to create a new set and store it inside b. It is just going to point to the same, both of these variable names are going to point to the same memory location. So if I change a, I automatically change b. That is because a and b are the same variable. What I mean by same variable is, although they have say different variable names, they are going to point to the same location. So for that, what I need to do, say I want a new variable in O equal to a dot copy. So now if I change a, it is not going to change b, but it did change, sorry, it is not going to change O, but it changed the b variable because you used a dot copy. A dot copy is going to create a new set based on the elements of a, and it is going to store it in O. So that is one gotcha that is there. This is the same issue with lists as well, because if you create a list A and you assign it to list B, it is just going to point to the same variable location. You can have other elements. Okay, so the last thing we'll check is remove. You can check how to use update on your own. I'll leave that as an exercise. Cool. So now, till now we saw lists, and in remove of a list, say pop, what we were doing is pop was deleting the last value of a list, and there was a remove function as well which would remove particular index. But in sets, they don't, remove does not delete an index, it deletes a value. So if I want to delete 1, I'll pass 1. If I want to delete the element 1 2 2 2 2, I'll pass that. So now my set only has 2 and 3. Now let me pop, and let me pop. So pop did not delete from the end, it deleted from the start. So that is one difference that is there to sets. I'll just explain the update method, and then we can just go to the next video. Now update, as you saw, I'll just add. Now as you saw, you have distinct elements in a set. So if I do a dot update 1 comma 2 2 2 2. Okay, so I have never used update, so let me check. So update a set with a union of itself and others. Okay. Now when I do, see, the definition of update is update a set with the union of itself and others. Now others is what you'll pass as an argument, and what it did was it did a union of O and A, and it stored it in O. So that is what update does. So I highly encourage you to find out the discard method here and what it does, because it is going to be interesting. So this is about the basics of set operations. Thank you for watching, and please stay tuned for the next video.